Hey yo everybody, how are you all doing today, and welcome to a new series on the channel. Now as you can see, this one's going to be a little different. So this is going to be kind of a normal Let's Play of SSX, but there's going to be one important caveat that makes it way different. There's going to be simulated damage in there. So how that works, we can take damage for stuff we do in-game, and if we take too much damage then stuff is going to happen. I'll explain a little bit about that later. But as you can see, on the right side of the screen right now we've got the rules. So we have a base health of 500, this cannot be changed, and it's set in stone. Won't be allowed to restart or redo events. This is meant to make it so that I can't farm money, because as I'll go into a little later on, money is actually quite important in this series. If we end up in debt, then loan sharks will take 50 health for every $50,000 of debt we're in, so we will want to avoid that. If our health gets low, then we'll be subject to penalties, so-called doctor's orders. You can kind of get the gist of what they're about by hearing the name, but I'll go a little bit more into them as they actually become relevant in the game. And if we're unlucky enough as to get to 0 health, then that's permadeath. The game is over, character is quote-unquote dead, and we won't be playing anymore. So however far I was able to get in that time, that's where the series is going to end. So, let's get into the game. Alright, so this is the screen you'll be looking at for the majority of this series. Now, like I said, it's going to be a normal Let's Play aside from those few changes. So, I've done a Let's Play as Simon, I've done one as Mac, I've done one as a couple other people, but I have yet to do one as Zoe, so I think we'll play as Zoe for this one. So, let's get into it. Alright, here we are. So, new adventures are about to begin. Now, as you can see on the left side, we've actually got a lot of crucial information, like our health, and how we can lose health and how much it'll lose us. So also got a couple other bits of information on there, but that's kind of what we're going to be operating under. As you can see, something like a wipeout plus a long fall is pretty nasty, whereas getting knocked down is not so bad. But it's a little, it's a little different. I hope it'll be unique, I hope it'll be appreciated, and I also hope I'll make it longer than 2 episodes. I guess we'll see, because this might be hard. I've never done something like this, so this might be really difficult or might be really easy. I hope I balanced it right. Now, to make it a little more realistic and also to make the series flow better, I've actually made a pre-made event calendar for this, so that it's kind of like a real, if the SSX circuit were to be real, kind of every event is bound to a certain day. So instead of being able to determine my own order, for instance, we'll start off with Snow Jam, but then the day after we'll be doing Junction, assuming I make it that far. This is kind of meant, one, to make it a little more like a real-life snowboard circuit, but it's mostly meant to make it so that certain doctor's orders that are going to be coming into play are going to be more relevant. For instance, there's a doctor's order which disallows you from taking part in any big air events. So if I had a big air event, if I had Crow's Nest, like in the first or second part, it would be unlikely for that to come into play. So instead, I've placed Crow's Nest towards the very end of Peak 1. Anyway, here we go. Adventures begin. So this is probably going to be, in terms of general gameplay, it's probably going to be quite interesting, because I think I'm going to treat it, I think I'm probably going to end up treating it a lot like a 100% run. In that, I'll probably want to multitask a lot of things. You see, like go for snowflakes mid-race and whatever, in the heats that don't matter. You know, if I just get top 3, then we move on. Probably use those heats to pick up snowflakes and stuff like that, because while we'll be doing all the events first, like we'll be doing all the events kind of all together, so won't be doing any free run till then. So I'm going to multitask with some snowflakes. And then, if I'm still alive at the end of all the events, we'll get onto the free ride. And if I somehow, very unlikely, but if I somehow make it to get 100% with this rule set, then we'll get to that as well. But that's extremely unlikely. I can pretty much guarantee you that won't happen. But I guess you never know. Guess you never know what can happen. Now, obviously, with the nature of the series, I won't cut out any gameplay. So if I end up being quiet for a little while, not saying much, even though that's kind of going to be like a dull section, I'm still going to keep it in. So it might be a little less action-packed than normal, even though I generally practice a low editing style anyways. I don't like cutting stuff out. I don't really feel like you guys are. You know, a lot of YouTube viewers are quite hyperactive. They need super jump cuts and action all the time. I think you guys are quite patient. I think you like seeing SSX for what it is. I don't think you need me to cut to every moment of action instead of just showing you the entire journey from top to bottom, right? So I think so far we're still at 500. Don't think I made any mistakes of note. Gotta be extra careful though. Uh-oh. Ooh. I'm probably gonna end up playing safe quite a lot, but that's kind of part of what makes this interesting. It's gonna be a different way to play, and that's kind of what I'm shooting for. In addition to having multitasking and all sorts of different stuff. As you can see, we can recover health, but it costs a lot for what you get. Don't fall off the track, thank you. If I'd fallen off there, that would have been 200 hit points off, so you want to avoid that, to say the least. I get that. Thank you. Alright. I think that's a pretty clean first run, assuming I don't wipe out here, which I shouldn't. Awesome. Now, I won't cut during gameplay, obviously, but I'll probably cut stuff like this out, so see you in a second. Loading screens like that one present a perfect opportunity for me to clear my throat, have something to drink or whatever, you know. Some cool stuff. Whoa, a little bit of lag there. See, I am kind of recording this in somewhat high quality by my standards, so there might be a little bit of lag here and there. That's kind of a sacrifice I've determined to take. Okay, don't fail what sign. This is your chance, because after this, we should probably aim for the platinum, because it'll be more money, and God only knows money is quite important in this. You can see money is our only way of recovering health that I end up losing, so I want to be careful with stuff like that. I also have the calendar and all the other rules down there. I've got the doctor's orders on my laptop down to my right and all that, so I've got everything on lock. Now, I actually wanted to start recording this earlier. As you can see, it's the face cam's kinda getting dark. Daylight's kinda fading right now. I was gonna start recording earlier, but the dog was barking a little bit, so I decided I'd wait until he was done. And he's finally done, so it's time to chill and record. So this is very much a pilot episode. I'd like to hear in the comments whether you think this is a good idea, and if you enjoyed the first episode. I don't know how long this is gonna go for. Like I said, it depends completely on how long I actually end up surviving, which could be, you know, anything from, if I'm super unlucky, 1 part, but more than likely at least 2. But like anything from 2 parts to however long it takes me to get 100% while playing safe, which could be ages. That could be, you know, 40, 50 parts. So we'll see. I'll likely try to keep the... Oh, our first mistake. We're down to 450, as far as I'm aware. So there you go. There's a wipeout. That takes some help away. You know, I was hoping to have full health for all of Snow Jam, but doesn't really matter. Oh, and another thing that I didn't specify, but that's not allowed. If I'm about to like wipe out or hit a tree or something, I'm not allowed to select. If I do, like just instinctively, because I might do that, I might be like, oh, I'm heading for a tree, gotta warp now. If I do that, then that counts as falling off track, so that'll be 200 health instead of whatever I would have lost by actually hitting the thing. Okay, final round. Gotta somehow try to get a platinum medal while also playing it safe. Well, I know for damn sure I'm not taking this risky jump. Like, I'm not doing any tricks off of that ramp. I'm instead gonna go off these rails, and then probably gonna go on the what sign rail. I think that's the best... Crap. I think that's probably the best combination of safe and fast, even though all of that was kind of slow. I land 2 matriculators. Well, I mistimed it anyways, so it's not like it ends up mattering. Alright, Zoe, you gotta Gotta put your try-hard pants on for this one, because getting plat is infinitely more rewarding than getting gold. You get so much more money for plat medals. So I want to stay on top of it. Hope you like the overlay also. If you have any comments on the overlay, then please let me know. I think it's quite neat. I personally quite like it, but if you have any feedback that I can easily do, keep in mind that I'm not much of a graphics designer. I don't have access to Photoshop, none of that, but I can move stuff around and I can change how things are ordered around. Then keep that in mind and be sure to let me know. I'd appreciate that a lot. On the note of selecting, I will be allowed to select if I somehow get stuck, but besides that, I will try to avoid selecting. So it's going to be a pretty clean run. It's not going to be clean in the way that no warps, because obviously if I have an Uber wipeout, then I will warp, and there's not anything I can do about that. And that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles in this, but you know. Besides that, it's going to be rather clean. I'm going to try to keep it clean at least. Okay, don't hit that. Thank you. I actually did a risk by going over this way. Thank you. See, something like that, a rail like that, is going to scare the hell out of me in this series. Because if I fall off of that, or I don't get it, boom, that's 200 health lost, which is a big deal, by the way. And I'm probably also not going to jump into the finish lines, because that actually poses a risk of wipeout as well, so I probably want to avoid that. But we did get plat on Snowjam for the first episode, so I think I am going to leave the pilot episode here, but I hope you have enjoyed it. I think this has potential to be a very fun series, so as far as I'm aware now, we're down to 450 health, and we're halfway to being able to recover another 50, so we're looking alright as we head into the next kind of quote-unquote day of the SSX circuit, which looks like it will contain the junction and metro. So I hope you're looking forward to that. Actually, I think that's the same. I think that's literally the same order I did my first Let's Play in. Ah, well, whatever. That's just a coincidence. Anyway, let me go back to the screen for a second. Alright, and here we are back to the screen. So if you need a little bit of a refresher on the rules, this is your chance. But that's going to do it for the pilot episode, so I hope you have enjoyed the episode very much. It's been very fun to record, and I hope to see you again for the next one. Please give me any feedback whatsoever, whether in terms of the actual series design itself, or the overlay, or anything like that. Just any sort of feedback, I'd appreciate it. Constructive criticism, always appreciate it. Alright everyone, thank you all so very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Have an absolutely bang up rest of your day. Take care and goodbye.